Let's pretend you didn't read the title, and I'm asking you, do you know who this is? How about now? How about now? I think it's pretty evident that Cloud is easy to recognize. And we saw that when they released the reveal trailer for the remake, because we don't really see Cloud. We see part of that, whatever this is. We see the Buster Sword, and then we see his hair. I think that's one of the things that's most recognizable with Cloud is his hair. Like, we all know the different strands of hair that he has. He has the big pointy one at the top. He has the 3, sometimes 2 above his left ear. And then he has, I think, the longest one of all, the one on his right side pointing straight down. You know, even the low poly model, you can see it basically penetrating his shoulder. You can see it in the original, you can see it in Kingdom Hearts, you can see it in Advent Children, you can see it in Crisis Core, you can see it in Dirge of Cerberus, and in the remake. It's just not there. And for some reason, the one on the left side that used to be shorter is now the longest one of all. What's up with that? Is this like a Bizarro Cloud? Is this like an opposite Cloud? I'm even struggling to come to the conclusion whether or not this was on purpose. As if it was like a choice that was made with intent of like, yes, this is something different. It's not just something that we forgot to draw once and we stuck with that. But the weird thing about it is they took it pretty far in some areas, but not really far in others. So one thing that I would like to point out is this figure right here. It's the low poly figure of Cloud. This is how Cloud looks in the original. It's pretty accurate, except that this doesn't go into his shoulder anymore. And for whatever reason, this is a little bit longer. Why? And you might say that's just a choice someone made when designing this specific figure for the molding process or whatever, but I think it's actually more on purpose than that, because this isn't merch from the original, even though you could argue it is. Because if you look at the box for this isn't merch from the original. This is remake merch. See? It's remake. So they took it pretty far in this area, but for whatever reason, if you look at, let's say, Ever Crisis, they use assets from Remake. So the battle model is the same model from Remake. But then there are sprites of Cloud in Ever Crisis where he does have that strand of hair. So in that game, it's inconsistent. Plus there's concept art of Cloud where he has that strand of hair. And in the flashback, with the promise flashback with Tifa, the hair is slightly longer on his right side than on his left side. So what's up with that? It's such a weird thing to change. And because it's so inconsistent, but very consistent in other ways, that I'm wondering if it even was on purpose. But no matter what the reason is for the change, I have reason to believe that they have changed their mind since the remake, because they have admitted that the models in Rebirth will have just slight improvements, slight changes, slight adjustments. And I think they have, without really announcing it, they have shown us how Cloud is gonna look in Rebirth. All we've seen from the trailer is him walking from behind, and there are some improvements you can see there, but I'll get to that later. The same day we saw the trailer, before that, we saw this static arts of Cloud. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I'm not even gonna say it. You can just look. See that? See that? So what? So now I'm even wondering, was it on purpose? Like, was this something that the Roberto Ferrari, that guy, was that something he did? And then Tetsuya Nomura was just like, you can do that if you want. It's wrong, but you can do that if you want. with his idea of how Cloud should look. And then later it was like, maybe Tetsuya is right. Maybe he should just look the way he looks. Maybe there's a reason why we like him the way he is. So I'm just guessing here. I'm just, I have no idea why they changed it, only for them to then change it back. So no matter what the reason was for changing it, has the reason changed? Did they make him less like Cloud so that they can make him more like Cloud as the series progressed? I don't know. That's something that I'm hoping, actually, because I've been a fan of this world and these characters since I was a young child. So to see them kind of return to that is something fulfilling for me as a fan. And I'm not saying that I don't like the way he looks now. I am super happy that I even get anything that resembles a remake and that I get to see Cloud in this high definition thing. So don't think for a second just because I'm picking these things apart that I don't like it. I'm picking it apart because I love it. That's the point. So I think, yeah, in Rebirth, even though they haven't announced it or we haven't seen it yet, Cloud is gonna look more like he did in the original, in more ways than one, because one thing they have also changed that we can see in the trailer are the bagginess of his pants and where they are baggy. because that's an actual slight complaint that I have of the remake. Cloud cannot walk or run or move at all without his legs or his pant legs clipping into each other. And the texture is just all messed up. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Like, which part is pointing out? Which part is going in? What is the actual shape of this? How does this work? It looks like someone roughly cut out some foam and just stuffed his legs with this weird shaped cut up foam.
When you're covering it with fur, it can kind of hide any small imperfections, whereas if you cover it with fleece, it's gonna show any tiny little flaw or divot. Keep that in mind when you're carving this type of foam.
And he's just walking and running around with a bunch of foam around his shins, and he just looks awkward.
The pants, actually, because there was something that really bothered me with Cloud's pants when I was playing the game, specifically with the bottom of the pants and with the folds there. There was just something there when I was playing. It just didn't look quite right to me.
And it's so weird that that's the place on his pants where he's the most baggy, because if you look at the original and all of the concept art, everything, even this, look at this thing, like a diamond shape. Whoop, whoop. Look at that, it's like a diamond shape. Whoop, whoop. Diamond shape. This is how he looked in the battle thing. It's wide around his knees and gets skinnier all the way down to his boots. That's how Cloud looks. So if you were to draw a silhouette of Cloud, would you draw this? Or would you draw this? You know, this part of his model and these textures stick out, because if you look at his boots, that looks like real leather. And you just go a little bit up and you're like, what the hell is this? Why is this like PS3 graphics? So that's just weird. It's such a weird choice to make. But then when I saw the new allegedly controversial figure, the Bring Arts figure that they're releasing with all the NFT drama, I'm not gonna add anything to that because in all honesty, I don't understand it. But when I saw that figure, my first reaction was, oh, so you do remember how Cloud looks. So you know how he looks. Then what's up with this? You know, why make him if you know what Cloud looks like and no one's forgotten and everyone who sees this figure is like, this is a great figure. But I'm like, oh my god, so you know what he looks like, but they just choose not to make him that way. I don't want him to look like a cartoon or an anime character. I'm fine with them going the slightly more realistic route, but I do wonder what the remake would be like if they stuck more to this design. Because this, to me, is Cloud. And I'm sorry to disappoint everyone. I will get this figure because it is, in many ways, it's my dream figure. The only thing I would probably ask for to be different or even to add to this would be if it was a static figure, because I prefer static figures over things with parts and stuff that fall apart and you have to pose it and stuff, because then if it doesn't look good, it's your fault. So that was my reaction to that. But back to the Rebirth trailer and the improvements to Cloud's model, we see Cloud walking and he looks very similar to Remake, but look at his pant legs. He's walking normally, but they don't clip anymore. They're not clipping into each other. There's even a gap in between them. So that means Cloud is more accurate because it seems wider closer to the middle and then it gets skinnier back down at his boots. And I'm happy with that. Super happy with that. And you might wonder why I care so much or have perhaps noticed so much about Cloud's design and how it's changed over the years. And I think that just comes with the territory of collecting figures like I do. I currently have, without counting duplicates, I have 33 Cloud figures. And I want to add to that today. So I'm going to unbox this for the rest of this video. Feel free to stick around for that if you care. So based on this, I want to guess that it was released in 2013. Wow, it's actually pretty nice. You can just keep it like that. Don't really need to do anymore. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is very stuck. Like, I'm pushing very hard. What the hell? I'm gonna edit most of this out, but man, I have now been struggling for over a minute to get Cloud out. Ugh. There you go. Oh my god. Oh, it's like giving birth. Ugh. Oh my god, I can tell you this much, they're never going back in. Who wants a face with nothing on it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. What's the point of this? Look at that, look at those eyes. What? So they give you like Sephiroth eyes for the Cloud figure? Okay, interesting. Seriously. Oh my god. That's interesting, actually. I'm noticing that now. The hard edge, instead of being red, it looks kind of more brown. You see that? Oh, wow. Oh, okay, off it went. Wow, that is cute. Whenever I get the PlayArts Kai figure of Cloud that has the hard edge, if I ever get it, I'm gonna compare these. It's gonna be an obvious difference, but I'm just gonna do that because I think that sword is huge and this is pretty tiny. It's pretty interesting. This is like consistently, with every detail, it's like baby proportions. I feel so manly opening this. Can't even get it out, and oh, actually, I should be careful with this. Do you see that? Like, this is the opening where it's supposed to get out, but the Buster Sword is longer. Is it made to be fucking broken? What the hell? I'm gonna be super careful now that I see that. Okay, 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 not okay. Okay, I did it. Screw this packaging. That sucked. Looking at this, I'm probably gonna have to take out the stand because this guy won't stand. Oh. Here we go. Screw that. I'm not a fan of the packaging for this. Okay, what's the bare minimum that I need? Probably need this thing. That was easy. Okay, so what's the height? Which one do I want of these? Why did they give us a short one if it's not gonna work, you know? It's not long enough. The small one is too short, so I think this one is perfect. There you go. See, this is why I prefer the static ones. You get it out of the package, and you immediately get to just look at it and enjoy it. There's no point for this hand to even be loose, by the way, because there's no replacement for it. Put this in this one. Like, oh, damn it. This looks good. This is fine. Now, what sword do I want to display him with? Oh, okay. Oh, thank God. I was like, what? Do I have to push that through? This seems easier. I'm not gonna speak too soon. Yeah, this seems easier than even the PlayArts Kai figures. So I'm gonna use the hard edge because it's a rarity in my collection. I have one figure with the hard edge, but that's 1 out of the 33. So now it's gonna be 2 out of 34 instead. So, oh my God. You see what I mean? Oh, there you go. Wait a minute, why is this? What's the difference? The eyebrows? Is that it? This one's more pouty and angry, and this is more... God damn it. And this is more, neutral? I don't know which one I prefer. What do you think? Because this is very specific. We know in Animated Children he does get these eyes for fuck's sake. For a moment. So maybe it's specifically for that. So which Cloud design does this remind me of? Well, a lot of it says the original, but the belt isn't from the original because the original belt has like these metal details on them. I'll show you. It's quite similar, especially with the pants, but the belt on this one is more accurate to the original. And the belt on this one is just a leather thing, I think. Yeah, that just looks like the leather version. But the pants seems like they are from the Crisis Core era because these are essentially Crisis Core pants. Because the way they look in Crisis Core is they go out like the original, and then instead of being skinny at the bottom, they kind of go a little skinny and then they go out again. It's like a midpoint between the original and remake. Now you know that. I've studied the pants of Crisis Core 2, even though I'm not a fan of that game. So yeah, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Okay, yeah, that can just be removed. This isn't metal, so it's not like it's rust. It could look like rust, kinda. It also kinda look like dust. It's rust, it's dust. Anyway, it doesn't bother me. It's kinda weird. So now we know it's mostly from the original. The hair is definitely from the original. This is the long one, like we talked about. And I have to say that the details of the hair and the shininess and the variance of the color and the fact that the hair is actually kinda soft was a nice surprise. The hair is definitely the nicest thing on this figure. The face is the worst on it, even though we get 3 of them. If they only gave us 2 faces, that would be nice, and then gave us an extra hair instead of the other 2 faces, we literally could have gotten 2 whole figures. And that's my complaint with this. All I'm missing to have 2 figures is literally the hair. But if you want that, if you want to display both of these, you now have to get 2 of these figures. I actually think I prefer the Buster Sword with this figure. It's something about how relatively big it is still. It really matches the proportions. I only have 2 hard edges. It's kind of sad not to display it, so I'm wondering if I could like display it like this. That's actually pretty cool. I think I'm gonna do that. But now we're gonna look at the Hardy Daytona. This is a thing that is not on the remake. This bandage around the exhaust, that's original only. And I can show that on this keychain. It's painted silver here. Oh, wow. It annoys me that that's cool too. It really does. That's pretty cool. Oh man, it becomes such a different figure. What would you do? How would you display it? As cool as this is, and as rare as it is, I'm gonna do it like this with the Buster Sword, with the face that came with it, and I'm not gonna have the Hardy Daytona. But I'm gonna also have the hard edge leaning like that, cheating. All right, let's put them in the collection. Last time you saw part of my collection, we were right over there. You see, that's the figure that I opened last video. Cloud's part of the collection is not as sad as Zack's part because Cloud is the one that I have the most figures of. He's probably the one Final Fantasy character of all time that has been made the most figures of, if I had to guess. You're not seeing all of them right now. I am gonna show you all of them in a later video. As soon as I run out of things to open on video, I will do a big collection video to show off every figure, and hopefully by then I will have 200 figures, not counting duplicates. So whenever I get something new, I need to find space for it, and sometimes I have to move things around to do that. I think because I have things kind of by height, you can see it goes gradually up like that, all the way there, and then it goes from there gradually up, and these two are kind of separated from that system, let's say. I think because of the height, I think it fits pretty good in right there. I think I have to move things around a little bit, push all of them over there. There you go. I place this one, and I'm gonna give him his hard edge as well. That actually looks pretty good, and I have to say, the hair, I don't know if it shows up on video, but the hair, it really sticks out as this multicolored, shiny thing. And here's the other one with the hard edge. You can see that there. That figure is from 1997. That's the Bondi figure. It's the American version. That's the one that came in the big set. If you have enjoyed spending time with me today, you know what to do. I'm not gonna say it, just do it.